The joys of packing up in a brushy, mosquito sodden area. Jen has deployed her advanced anti-mosquito technology, which is that halo of frizz that you see surrounding her. She's also not awake yet. We managed to find just enough room last night in between the lumps, the spikes, and everything else. So the hard part of setting up on this, grasses and things are fine, but there are these vines, and those will pop through the tent. Never mind, they are not so great to sleep on. We have successfully emerged from the bushes. Taters is successfully stringing together 2, sometimes 3 syllables in one go. Even better, we are headed for a coffee shop. See, it's mostly giggles this time of day. Except for the mornings when it's not, and that is so much worse. So today is the dregs of the Rock Island Spur. Anyway, if Taters is done yelling at me. Today is the dregs of the Rock Island Trail. We are limping towards Pleasant Hill at the moment. And then sometime after that, the trail is going to end. We will be on roads. Our goal today is basically to get as close as possible to the border with Kansas. The land Taters can't wait for. She's actually a little sad because she thought I was taking her to go see the band Kansas, and she just realized it's the one with all the wheat.
Flint Hills is gonna be gorgeous.
Yes, Flint Hills. It's all good. There's probably a subway somewhere in the middle. I was talking to the ADT Society coordinator for Kansas, and he did go, oh yeah, the east part isn't bad. And then there's the west part. But hey, look on the bright side. Eastern Colorado is pretty bad too, so it's all fine. Since we are getting into Kansas City here, and it's another urban crossing, we do have a trail angel stay. Somebody was nice enough to save us a hotel night. They have a spare house they said they can stick us in. So we are at least looking forward to laundry and a shower tonight. And after all the humidity and rain and sweating and everything else over the last couple of days, we can really use it at this point. More importantly, and the reason why I am leaving Taters in the dust right at this moment, is there's a coffee shop up ahead that hopefully has at least halfway decent coffee. My standards are really, really low. I'm just hoping that they still have coffee after 8:15 in the morning, which seems to be an assumption you cannot make in this country these days. And welcome to Pleasant Hill, not to be confused with Pleasant Grove. Kind of like how the Katy had Green Bottom versus Green Grove on either side. They really like reusing names. I've stopped even trying on town names because we've hit so many duplicates in different states along the way here. So there was camping in Pleasant Hill. If Jen had been doing a little better, might have tried to just push on. It's another one of these interesting routing things that probably has to do with some sort of private property. So we are on the Katy Trail, Rock Island Spur, yada yada. It turns and does some weird stuff. This is actually the continuation of the rail bed, so that's what the rail bed would look like if it was not maintained. And that goes right by the county fairgrounds where we would be camping, or where we could have camped. Blondie, I have an idea how to boil my next cup of coffee. That sure as hell beats one of those little like dancing sandwich sign guys. So my guess on this little reroute is because another rail spur that's still active comes in, and they don't want to have a crossing where they are supposed to honk and potentially run somebody over. And welcome to Pleasant Grove. Somewhere there's a coffee shop. Somewhere. So there is some trail weirdness here. Looks like the Katy actually goes out to the county fairgrounds now, but the track I have shows going through town. Either way, we'll pick it up on the other side, and we were going to go this way anyway because of coffee. Taters is confused. This is how incels try and date Jen. Jen is basically so starved for any sort of altitude, she's making me come to the top of the coffee shop. Sadly, Jen chased me out of the air conditioning, the food, the coffee, after only like 2 coffees. But... and now it's hot, and we have a lot of walking to do. I tried to look on the bright side and say, well, we can go to this cafe up here, and then it turns out like 2 blocks that way there's another coffee shop we could try and like coffee crawl it, but no. Dude, Blondie, we're now on the Mopac Trail, as the kids say.
Oh, wow,
It's probably one of those trails that dumps you on a road, though. We're apparently in a rough end of town because the schools here are having arson, drugs, vandalism, and robbery. Run, Jen. Run quickly. Do not stop for anything. So based on the vegetation through here, it looks like a lot of this would have been underwater if we were here a little bit earlier. Like, we've been on the bike trail for the last 200 some miles, but we hit Kansas City and now it's roads. Yeah, I feel like we timed this section just about right because we had minor flooding, but it was on the southern bit.
Yeah, definitely.
So per that guy, this entire area was flooded. He walks it every day and he said, yeah, water came up massively. You can see this field. The soybeans are fine, but whatever else is growing here seems like it's dying out. He said he is out here every day working on memorizing the entire Bible. So beyond the fact that we are done with our easy cruise along the Katy Trail today, it is another sad milestone because we are basically halfway through Jen's summer at this point. She has another 33, 34 days with me, but it seems like she has been out here with me for so long at this point. The current plan is we are going to make best time across Kansas, see if we can knock that out, get into Colorado, and we will have some more options for getting her to an airport at that point. Of course, we do wish that she could stay longer. She really would like to be doing the Rocky Mountain section with me, but I don't want to skip around. If I'm going to skip around, that takes all the enjoyment out of doing a trail. But I mean, I did see the CDT overlap section before. It would be cool to see it with her, but short of doing about 200 miles a week, I don't think that is going to happen. I mean, the good news is we could always do something slightly less exciting like the Colorado Trail, and she would get to see a lot of that area also. Colorado Trail goes through some really pretty area, but it is one of those kind of similar to how the AZT was the other year, where they're a little busier than I would prefer. I kind of like something closer to what the Grand Enchantment Trail was. I keep trying to be a ray of sunshine, telling her, well, on the plus side, if Kansas is as miserable as she seems to think it is, her weeks in Kansas with me will feel like they last an eternity. And then she rolls her eyes. And if you're wondering why the umbrellas are out this early, lack of tree cover, and also it is back in the 90s. And it is going to be climbing for the next couple of days. Aren't you glad we left behind that wimpy tree cover and now we can really show how tough we are walking these lovely roads? I'm trespassing.
It's not bad, but I do hope the trees come back.
Okay, one little ecological preserve, then back on the roads. Enter death. Oh, there's a bunny. Oh, that shade and that breeze feels nice after that road. Could do without the mosquitoes, though. Ah, yeah, there we go. Every time we stop, all the little divots in my sit pad are completely filled by sweat or other fluids. It's the Kansas preview, dun dun dun. We are really hoping this visitor center has water because it is a sweaty day. So for the record, not the visitor center, but the one guy in there was very nice and let us fill up off of his chilled water fountain. Yes, I have to ignore that blinking light that said the filter was shot, but I worked at a place. Turned out they hadn't replaced the filter in like 5 years. If you had seen what that filter looked like when we removed it, you would never drink out of a water fountain. But this water's fine.
And we learned interesting biology facts about
We learned
the
all
7-year
sorts
cycle
of-
of hemorrhagic fever in deers.
Yeah, you want to know what's killing animals around here? We know. As with my dating life, I've systematically here lowered Tater's standards. First, when she came out, she was like mountains, wilderness. Now she is just very, very happy and amazed because we have clouds.
I did say totally genuinely that the clouds are amazing.
So it is 2:40. I think we have finally escaped the Rock Island Trail and are officially back onto urban walking. We have a pickup arranged around 7, so about 4.5, 5 hours of just soaking in all the heat. And then hoping like hell the place we stayed tonight has air conditioning. Oh, they do have sidewalks. We were lied to. And I just got an alert that we're under a heat advisory from tomorrow at 1 through the weekend. Jen is somewhat bitter that we're not under one now because we are bloody soaked and cooking. And welcome to the last little bit of the Rock Island Trail. This is kind of the polar opposite of those northern rail tunnels where I was in the dark for so long. So there is another 10-ish miles of the Rock Island Trail. Sadly, we turned west here. Hey, even signed. Also, sadly, it appears we don't get a sidewalk. So we have a trail angel coming to pick us up at 7. We got slowed down a bit by the heat, maybe by the coffee. So we are trying to hurry so we can make at least our standard 22 miles. I would rather make 25, but at least we were on schedule for that. Normally when we're camping or we're hiking, we can, hike for another 2 hours. So we were actually doing pretty good today. Trick's gonna be just trying to get out at a reasonable hour tomorrow, make it across the state line. Oh, that sounds mean to that poor dog. You're having a whole adventure up front. I was just like, strolling along going, hey, this is a nice relaxed section. So we hopefully have a trail angel picking us up, hopefully taking us to a place with an air conditioner. Hotel or stealthing options were limited to non-existent in this area, so the trail angel that contacted us and said she had a rental that was currently being renovated and we were welcome to stay in it for the night really helped us out here. We were pretty exhausted after the last couple days and also in pretty rough shape, so we treated them to a quick stop at Panda Express, then headed back to the house, ate, and started in on laundry. The house was mid-renovation, but had pretty much everything we could have asked for, and they'd actually stocked it with shampoo, an air mattress, and even some comfy chairs. And as an added bonus, there was even a jet tub.